What's up, everybody? What's the rub? Live show. We are live.
Yeah, we are.
EP13.
What up? Tyler Terrell's in here early. Yep, Sarah.
Yeah, I see that.
Mama
up in the
Smoke.
comments. What are you into, man? Anything good?
Man, it's windy here today. A tree's falling everywhere, dude. I'm gonna have plenty of cooking wood this year. I got more than I can handle, I think.
Yeah, I'm just sitting over here enjoying some of these Kakalaki spiced nuts.
Oh yeah, dude.
Shout out Kakalaki.
Yeah.
Appreciate them. Extra large seasoned nuts.
Yeah,
right
grown in North Carolina, harvested.
Nice,
yeah, F2T.
They got a little kick to them, so sometimes they get a little spicy. And what I like to do personally is just wash them down with some of this Curveball whiskey here.
Yeah,
that's what I like to do. Shout out Curveball whiskey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, ain't no doubt. So, yeah, they've both, man. Kakalaki's been awesome. I won a competition with them last year. The Barbecue Warrior. That's where the title came from. That belt right there came with that too, and it was able to help. A veterans organization was the deal. So yeah, man, they're big time down south. Cheerwine. What do you think of that Cheerwine sauce,
bro? Different, man. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
It's got that
got a lot of good
ginger kick in it. If I don't know if you picked up on that.
I've got almost a little bit of underlying like Japanese kind of flavor to it. It's very interesting, but I like it, man. I like it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good on some Asian kind of fusion.
Yeah.
So, hey, big shout out, man. The Brew Cruise guys down in Houston. We had Craig on last week talking about that. They killed it, man. Finalist in 2 categories, ribs and brisket. So, yeah, John, Josh, Craig.
I'm super jealous, man. I've been watching all the recap and the photos and the videos and everything come in, and it's like, man, I am ready to just hit the ground running this year. I'm having some withdrawals for sure.
Freaking Texas has been doing that to me since we left, Georgia, man.
Yeah.
They don't stop barbecue there.
Oh man, that's a 365-day deal.
Guarantee it
for sure. So may have to make that trip one day.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Oliver, dude, they were stacked. When you looked through that team, I mean, they just had killers everywhere. So I'm not surprised they did so good, but yeah, they went down there and represented for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Old Bill Purvis coming in hot.
Yeah,
bringing it home, man. That's a field, man. You get in the finals in that field.
Yeah,
it don't matter who you are. You gotta keep your head high for that for sure.
Oh yeah, LC Barbecue. I mean, dude, not saying anything, but I mean, Royal Oak was holding it down. Not surprised.
Right? So, yeah, Team Royal Oak, no doubt.
All up in the finals.
Good start to the year for sure,
man.
So our guest today, man, EP13. We got Joey and Drew. Let's bring them in here. Furlongs, Smoke, and Seafood Boys in the house.
Speaking of killing it, these guys.
What's up,
here,
fellas?
Man. What's happening?
What's up, guys?
Doing? Yeah, I see who gets to keep the trophies.
That's right.
Does that mean you keep the checks, Joey, or how's that working out there?
No, he gets the trophies and then we get the checks.
Nice, man.
That is also the spare bedroom that I get to stay in whenever I travel up there. And I told him, I was like, man, this year we may need to blow out that wall, bud.
Yeah. Well, at least he loans them to you when you come in for a visit. You can kind of lay there at night and go to sleep with that view.
Yeah.
Well, we all know where that money goes, right back. Ain't none of us to make no money, right? So
yeah. I was talking to somebody the other day about the class, and they've never competed before, and the guy made the comment. He's like, it just doesn't seem like there's something you could really make money at doing this. And I kind of laughed. I said, this is one of them situations, man, where if you're a billionaire and you want to be a millionaire, competition barbecue is where it's at. No question about it.
It's like anything else, man. Whether it's restoring classic cars or golf or whatever, man, it's a lot of folks think it's like not like it can be more than a hobby, which for some folks it can be, but it's a grind, man. It's a grind.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
No question.
Absolutely.
No question. Yeah. So give us a little background on you guys. I know Joey and I have got a little affinity from high school back in Louisville, Kentucky. But tell me a little bit about kind of your all's backgrounds. How did you guys team up together and that sort of thing?
So yeah, Drew and I went to high school together. We've known each other for 20 something years. Drew's been a chef for quite some time now. Cut his chops out in Brooklyn, so pretty accomplished chef. So for me, it was always keeping up with the Joneses, right? Like trying to get pointers and keep my game sharp. And then he hit me up and he's like, dude, there's a rib cook-off, about an hour from here up, Drew lives about an hour north of Minneapolis.
Gotcha.
So he's like, let's go see what we can do with this rib cook-off. And non-sanctioned, just kind of rib cook-off, people's choice type deal, like a lot of towns have. And that was our first real competition that we did. I think that was 2018, Drew? Is that right? Something like that?
Sounds about right, yeah.
And then
raising money for the community. It was great.
Yeah. So that's when we got a real taste of like, oh wow, like we just got fresh t-shirts printed, quantity 2, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
and then you show up and they, you got people with rigs and you got a team of like 6 people and you're like, oh, what did we get ourselves into? And we're just like, we're gonna do what we do, right? And then sure enough, first place in ribs, first place people choice, and then that set the hook, so then so fast forward a couple years later, we started getting to KCBS. I know Charles, we did a couple contests down here in this neck of the woods down here in Louisville Metro, Southern Indiana area. Kind of did a few of those. Shout out to you, Dave. That was when we switched to cans. Drew was like, what's the Dave story? I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that. I remember hitting you up. I'm like, dude, we're switching to cans. Yeah. You got a gateway. And so it was, I remember Tony met me at the truck. You guys fed me good. And then gave you a couple $100 and a case of beer for that gateway. And that's, and then it all kind of started with that. So
that thing's been printing hardware ever since, man. I told Tony, right. I still dream about that thing.
I had some of that. Yeah. You guys left some of that pixie dust on there for us. There you go. Some of that magic.
Ah, man, you guys have been killing it, man. Absolutely. Gateway ought to be proud of you guys.
Yeah. So you guys come out of 2022, was it Minnesota Chicken Team of the Year? Is that right?
Yeah. So we, and Drew can kind of speak to this. We really didn't know, they've got a really mature backyard program up in Minnesota. Dave, like you were talking about Texas, right? They hit it pretty hard all year round. Same thing with Alabama. They've got a bit of an extended season. Same thing with Mid-Atlantic. Some really good backyard programs where, it's kind of like AAA, right? It just feeds, kind of feeds the master's program. So, right. 2021, we hit the season pretty good. We were Minnesota Chicken Team of the Year, second place Minnesota Rib Team of the Year, and then first place overall Team of the Year for backyard. And then last year we just went, all out, right? And we were like, this is going to be our year. And so I think we did 22 contests last year. And that was just KCBS. We did, right. There was a couple non-KCBS, but Minnesota Barbecue Society sanctioned, kind of like SLBS, right? There's kind of some overlap sometimes. So we ended up, Chicken Team of the Year last year in Minnesota. I think 4th place ribs and then second team overall. So,
I was looking back there too, Drew. I was trying to read that as he was saying.
Third overall and 5th in ribs. Yeah. It was a good year. I mean, we like you said, Minnesota teams, they come out hot. I mean, everyone wants to say, Kansas City, Texas, but pound for pound, Minnesota, these guys up here, they compete and they know how to throw down. I mean, there's right. I'll throw our group of guys against anybody. I mean, we really I mean, they give it everything, and it's nonstop.
Right.
I mean, they travel. I mean, it's year round too for us up here. I know we get a lot of snow, but you watch the feeds. They're practicing. They're in 24 inches of snow, and they got the rigs out and they're practicing. So
Right.
it's competitive.
Yeah. It breeds
Yeah,
a different kind of cook, man, when you're cooking in those conditions and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that some of the southern states and stuff, they're fair weather almost all the time. So if you end up at a competition where they've got winds or cold front that comes in and that sort of thing, a lot of times it'll throw those guys off because they're not used to experiencing that, man.
Well,
I love it.
I think that's really it's also been actually our saving grace a lot of times is that we've been able to adapt to a lot of different. Because, I mean, Joey and I, we didn't have a trailer for a long time. So we were, pick up truck and short bed truck and go there and put some pop-ups and throw down. And so we were 100%. Able to adapt and change the way we cook and understand how to, operate the pits and make it happen. So being able to cook in different environments is definitely key. And being up here in this region, I mean, it's been helpful for us with success.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of good teams. I think Minnesota is one of those underrated kind of states, and Dave and I have had that conversation even about Indiana. It's kind of one of those places that just gets overlooked. But, man, there's a lot of talent kind of lurking in the corners that you see. I mean, we just, it's very interesting because we're not from those mainstream, Kansas, right. St. Louis, Texas, that sort of thing.
The blue bloods, right?
Yeah, that it's easy for the teams out of those states to get overlooked, a lot of times. And that's one of the things, props to you guys for your success and that, because that's part of the reason why I enjoy cooking on drums myself is because they seem to be a little less weather, sensitive when it comes to that sort of thing. And that's what I got into competition on was homemade drums and cooking. And I've cooked on just about all different types, and I've probably got half a dozen different ones at the house. But, when it comes to the comp stuff, the cans for me definitely are where it's at.
Best decision we made for sure.
Yeah. Definitely seems like it's paying off for sure.
Yeah, we do talk about that all the time, the different regions, and it's cool, man. A big shout out to, the people putting on the series up there in Minnesota, because that's what it takes, man. I mean, it takes teams and it takes event organizers. So
yep. Teams, judges, organizers. As much as we bash the judges, sometimes it doesn't go your way. They're kind of that other leg of the three-legged stool. You know what I'm saying? If all those folks aren't doing their thing, we wouldn't have these contests, man.
Yeah. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. You got to have it all.
For sure. Yeah, and from a KCBS standpoint, man, it seems like the group that's in there now is really kind of pushing to make some changes to that. Which for me, from what I've seen, seems like it's going to be promising if they can get some of that done. So I'm hopeful for that. But at the end of the day, that's half of it. It's just luck of the draw, and sometimes what table you hit can make or break you. And I'm not convinced that anything they're going to do is going to change that entirely. But definitely, like you said, the event organizers, man, these events, I've done several myself. They're not easy to put on. And not easy to make everybody happy for sure. So, shout out to anybody that's doing that for sure and trying to hold down a series and that sort of thing. Cause it's some work, no doubt about it. Definitely some work.
Yeah, it is. And definitely props, to you, Charles, for getting this going down here. Again, talking to all these different organizers and stuff in the different parts of the country, we really understand what goes into it. And like you said, you can't make everybody happy. You just hope to bring them back next year. Right. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. We're excited to see things picking up through here and try to get something going, kind of on that backyard / open side. We've had that conversation about the line between the backyard and the pro and how it's a muddy thing, man. It's hard to really kind of nail that down and make it fair for everybody. And that's why we've switched to a little bit more of an open class type deal for what we're doing. And, we're trying to put everything to a vote down here, and the teams and people that are involved, let them, ultimately make those decisions versus it being 2 or 3 people that are kind of calling the shots for it. So we'll see how it works out.
We were looking at things, like they do down in Texas. A lot of these smaller sanctioning bodies, Charles, because I was hanging on to brisket for everything. I mean, I just like to cook it, but Charles had a ton of good points. All of the, the emails had a ton of good points. A lot of backyard series, just run 3 meets. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to bring that line closer to the middle too, and really kind of bridge the gap, get us all cooking, because that's what events need is 20 teams. Bottom line, they don't need anything else but 20 teams, and the rest will come.
Yep. So, and we've seen some cool stuff too with some of the KCBS. They've started to do, the 1 meet the night before, right? Where it's just kind of open class. And that was cool too. When we did the largest contest they have in Minnesota, which is Minnesota in May, it's the week after Derby. That's how we always remember it, right?
Right.
But sure enough, they had a rib burn, and I think it was total for the contest. It was 100 teams, pro and backyard, but I think it was like 30 or 40 in the rib burn, and I think like 7 of the top 10 were backyard teams.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like Iowa Smoky D's, Chiggin' and Grinnin', a lot of stables there, man. So that was kind of cool too. We've even seen a lot of and I don't think I've seen one personally, but Mid-Atlantic, they'll do 1 meet chicken. So you can essentially do a double, like let's say you do a double.
Right.
And then you can do a rib burn and a chicken burn. So it's essentially a triple for the weekend. And that's, that kind of helps absorb what little cost you can for these types of events. And that, so that was pretty slick too, to see a 1 meet chicken. We've seen a few of those. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. There was an event, I can't remember which one it was that I was looking at this year that was doing that here in Indiana. Or it might've been one of the Wisconsin or one of the Michigan events, maybe, but I saw that. Yeah, they were doing chicken instead of ribs. Yeah, which is cool. Man, my first time doing that. So Franklin last year, which you were there, and you and I talked a little bit. That was my first pro event that I had ever gone to, and I did the rib burn Friday night. And man, I can't imagine going to one that offers it and not doing it anymore. So I come out, I think 11th on Friday night, and it got a little bit of feedback, and it helped. And come in on Saturday and ended up.
Yeah, got a call, man.
Yeah, so I was, I'll hold on to that. My first pro event, I'll take that for sure. Making a walk.
Well, Lebanon, you guys cooking Friday night at Lebanon down here in a few weeks, Joey?
We're so Drew wins the weekend because he'll be in Cancun. So win, lose, or draw, he wins, right?
Cabo.
I'm sorry. Cabo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Nobody mad at that.
So
you can't lose there, that's for sure.
Yeah. So but no, we won't be doing the rib burn Friday night, but we will be doing Saturday backyard side. And then, dude, I didn't know there was that many damn teams.
Yeah.
Have you
gone
through the list, man?
Yeah. I think it's 80 pros and 45 backyards.
Yeah. And talk about a killer list, man. I mean,
I seen Jaxo South got added, so Myron's going to be there. Everybody likes to see that.
Yeah.
That's
world champ. Draw a crowd.
Yeah, world champs everywhere. We found out that there's going to be multiple world champs down there. We'll just say that. So it ought to be pretty interesting to see if we can come scratching in, sliding in sideways somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I know Friday Charles is going to cook ribs, and I think we're going to try the turkey too. Just to we're going to have fun with it. So, but then, so that would be 120, 130 teams. Potentially on Friday night side games.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's a good wild child payout too on Saturday. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, it's fun. I'm excited. And like, I'm not gonna lie, we hit it hard last year, and I think I saw Alan in the crowd here. We were in Kansas City, man. We were in like Lee Summit, I think, and we're just getting ready to crash. And I'm like, dude, I'm not having fun anymore. Like it was, I think like we cooked like 7 of the last 9 weeks of the season. Right. And it wasn't just like in the backyard. Like it was Alabama. It was Kansas City. Yeah. It was Wisconsin. It was Iowa. And then I talked to Drew, and I was like, dude, I'm just I'm just like gonna unplug from barbecue.
Right.
Yeah. People don't realize, man, that backyard, even chasing the backyard points. I mean, down in Lebanon, we're talking about a killer lineup of teams. I mean, those backyard
got all those
teams
Bama boys there.
Yeah, man, it's going to be stacked.
That's how it was for us. I mean, we really went down to the wire, even on the Minnesota's point chase. I mean, it was down to the last comp to figure out who was going to take it. It was so close in points. Everyone was just like, "Are you going? Are you going? If you're going, I gotta go." Because it's like open for
right.
And not only goes another week, you gotta travel. Joey, we gotta get you a plane ticket. We gotta get you going. Yeah. You gotta come back up.
It's like, not only are you going to compete. Not only are you going to compete, you're also, there were times where we were going to just block people, where it's like, if we finish higher than them, we could stay. It was like, that's when we got into a lot of the strategery of everything.
We weren't even really looking for a first or second, or, we're just like, hey, top 5, top 10, that's what we need. Yep. We just got to see in the points. We got to keep some points away from so-and-so, and like I said, I mean, the Minnesota teams, killer. Even the KCBS, I mean, it was a good point chase for chicken and ribs. We kind of lost touch a little bit, but I mean, chickens, we were in there for a good bit, and I mean, it was just down to the wire. I mean, that's just how it was. It was fun, but it was exhausting at the same time. Yeah. But I mean, we trimmed it down this year, and we look like we trimmed down a little bit of the comp schedule. But I know Joey and I know myself. Once we get back into the roll of things,
the end of the year will have you like this.
I know.
We're only going to do, 15. We're only going to do 18. The next thing you know, we're back up to 20, 25, and and then I got to sell a car.
John's in the comments. John Woodridge, he said the new guys would appreciate you guys taking a week off. So.
Yeah, we were, when Alan and I were in, I think, where were we? But anyways, we were talking. I was like, dude, am I going to have to go out to New Jersey and do a freaking double? Like, what is this? Like, what is, and it was like a 40 team backyard. And I'm like, what? So it
was like another good thing.
Got crazy.
You guys can jump on planes. Everybody got cans everywhere. That's another good benefit to that. I mean,
that is a plus.
Yeah. So what are you looking at for 23? You say you're trimming it up a little bit. Have you got a focus or some new events you're trying to hit, or what's the plan?
Yep. So I think we're gonna do. I think we're gonna do a couple. We're gonna do 2 masters this year. We're gonna there was one backyard that we really liked last year down in Iowa, and they're not gonna have it this year. So we've got that weekend open, and there's a really cool masters up in that Minnesota?
Huron.
No, where's KTD?
That's Minnesota. Yeah, it's Wilmington.
Worthington.
Yeah, Worthington. Yeah.
So I think we're gonna do 2 masters. But we're gonna do. Let me see. So we've got Smoke on the Shores, obviously. We're gonna do Altoona, which is it's like at an amusement park, right?
Adventureland, Iowa. Oh yeah,
Adventureland. There you go.
Yeah. There's also casino.
Sure, there you go. Yeah, you may also be able to plot our competition schedule around riverboats or casinos as well.
I'm not mad at it.
So yeah, Minnesota in May, San Diego or South Dakota Barbecue Championship, bringing home the bacon, which is awesome. I guarantee you're not going to find a better campsite, a better setup, better organized. It is in Wisconsin. It's a double, right on the water. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Pools.
Yeah, hot tubs, the whole 9. And
nice.
Wow.
So that's awesome to check out. So bringing home the bacon's cool. They've always, they've treated us nice. It's fantastic. And then I think we've got. I think we're going to try to make it to the Royal this year. No lie. I think we've been kind of studying up, figuring out what the cost looks like. I think Drew and I have been talking. That's even if we got to shed 1 or 2, we're going to try to go go compete at the Royal and just see what it's all about, you know. And that's, we just keep hearing, like you guys saying,
if you guys are going to make, if you're going to make that trip, definitely let me know. So I had planned last year, that was at the beginning of the year, that was it. Like, I don't care if I don't do anything else this year.
Sure.
I want to hit the Royal. And I actually had a little sponsorship for it to make the trip. So our corporate office is in Columbia, Missouri. So it's, I mean, we're right there outside of Kansas, and we've got agents and stuff there. And we had a few agents that are into barbecue and go every single year. And I got in contact with them. They were like, yeah, man, like, come on out. We'll get you an RV. We'll get you set up, like the whole 9 yards. And then
this is looking like a pretty good little super team here. All of a sudden, everything I'm hearing. Need a pork guy. I'm just saying.
Right. We can definitely make something happen with that this year. Cause I mean, last year there was some questions on some stuff that I had going on work wise and that sort of thing, but it seems like we're pretty solid for this year. So it's on my list for sure. There's no question about it. So
I like it. Hey,
let me
definitely
know.
Been on our bucket list. Yeah.
Why don't we real quick, man, talking about hardware and all these prizes, why don't we have everybody hashtag Prairie Fresh for some giveaway action? Guys?
Prairie Fresh came in. They're going to give away a 4-pack of their tumblers. And yeah, I was gonna work this in here in a minute when we were talking about adding some pork categories and stuff. But yeah, jump in the comments. Hashtag Prairie Fresh or at Prairie Fresh, tag them in the comments of this thing. So that's going to get you an entry, but I want to try to do something else too. If you guys jump into the Barbecue and Grill Master Syndicate group, which is one of the Kentuckiana groups, and post a picture of something Prairie Fresh. So at the store, it doesn't matter what it is, a cook that you guys have done, do something like that, tag them. What's their hashtags, Dave? You know,
well, you can do at Prairie Fresh. That's going to tag them straight away. But then it's hashtag Why I Love Barbecue, hashtag Making Meal Times, and hashtag Prairie Fresh.
Yeah,
any three of those.
Yeah, right. So if you post that up in the group, we're going to give you 2 extra entries into that, and those are coming straight out of Prairie Fresh. We're going to let that run for the week, and we will announce that winner on next week's show. And we'll get those out. So yeah, definitely jump in and tag them in the comments for us. Let's get that going. Let's show them some love. They do a lot for the backyard guys and the pro guys alike. So we've been really happy to have them involved in everything that's going on. It's been really cool. So
yeah, 100%. we switched to Prairie Fresh about mid-year, halfway through last season.
Yeah.
Really were surprised at the quality. Not trying, but I was just, we're like picking stuff up at Walmart, and Drew's got this honey hole by his house, and they got this little end cap, and I mean they probably dumped 4 or 5 cases in that place, and you just and you don't feel bad not cooking a slab, right? Because we kind of talked about that too, where you get these more expensive brands and some of that higher, some of the names, right, that you're paying for, and you feel bad. I mean, you feel bad you feel forced to cook a slab that you paid $25-$30 for, right?
Right.
And then you
30-35. Yeah. You start to wonder, like, man, I got to put this on. I got to put it on the pit because I'm into it. I'm already committed to it. I'm pot committed. But when you see Prairie Fresh, you see the quality of Prairie Fresh. I mean, it's just hands down. I mean, and the performance and how they cut and how they yield. I mean, I don't see why anybody else is not running them. I mean, I truly don't understand.
Best marbling in Walmart, that's for sure. I mean, you can go to Walmart in that all natural line, and that's what we were talking about when they were on here. It's a Duroc hybrid, Duroc and a Landrace. So if you're picky, man, and you pick through all that, I mean, it's in there, guaranteed.
Yeah.
So we were we were really, really pleased with that. Got some good results. We kind of we were hot in ribs in 2021, and then the recipe just kind of fell off last year, man. We didn't cook it any different. We didn't change anything. It was just kind of I think just everybody was cooking that same recipe that we're not going to mention that gentleman's name. But and then, so then Drew and I kind of we're like, well, what are we gonna do, man? And so we kind of pumped the brakes a little bit, switched up the program. Towards the end of the season, started to pick things up again. Drew got a third place call at the Invitational, and at KCBS Invitational and Backyard Side, so that kind of helped us pull off a fourth overall. Chicken bombed. We got like the table of death. It was how it goes, guys. It's like when you get
for sure.
you get second on the table in 22nd. It's just
there's always one.
It's rough, man.
Always one.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out Prairie Fresh. Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going.
100%.
Yeah. Absolutely. So two masters events. Are you guys testing the water this year, thinking about making a pro run next year? Or?
Joey always pushes to do pro, and he's always like, man, we're ready. Yeah. I think we're ready. I'm like, but we're happy with what we are. I mean, we like the success and we like to win. Don't get me wrong. And we like to compete, and we're very, competitive in nature, but overall we're doing it for the camaraderie as well. I mean, our group of guys who we run with and who we see week in and week out, I don't know if I really want to change that up. I mean, I know a lot of the pro guys and they've been welcoming to us as well, but I mean, the backyard guys, I mean, we have a barbecue family and we're pretty tight with everyone, and we really enjoy that. And that's part of the fun for us, and to go and to see people and enjoy, and not to necessarily we want to win, but we want them to win. We want to see them succeed and do really well. I mean,
but we've talked about that too, like building that community. And that's what before it was kind of like everybody wanted the, better teams to go on pro. And we're trying to build a culture where everybody helps everybody and everybody gets better, because back to the events needing 20 teams. I mean, that's what it is. You want a 60 team family in your area.
Well, see, that's my point is like, everyone's like, well, you're kind of blocking people from succeeding. And I'm like, well, that's not the case. We're more than welcoming to help people, succeed. If we were to leave, that's a team leaving the backyard side that drops it, from 20 to 19 or 15 to 14 or 10 to 9. And then all of a sudden you don't have a backyard event, so I'm not saying that that Joey and I and the Furlongs team is keeping the backyard alive by no means. I'm saying it's very strong, but if you start seeing this mass exiting of backyard teams because they think they're ready, because they want to, think they're ready to go do it, well, by all means, go try it. But you need to start building that pool of people that are willing to compete, because if they go in there, they took a 20th place out of 20 teams, they got to have someone there to coach them and mentor them to bring them back up so they come back next week and compete. Without that, the sport dies.
Well, and that was kind of our idea behind having the open category versus drawing the line between backyard and pro. So I had a conversation with Arby, and this fits that conversation. So him and Albie obviously competed. They did very well. He's done some comps, even on his own, and done very well, but he does not want to cook pro at this point, but he feels, like he's not necessarily welcome at some of the backyard events because people think, oh, well, he's a pro guy and that sort of thing. So, I hate to see that, because there is a group of those people like that want to come out and compete and support, but don't feel like they necessarily have a place. And I totally get that, because the whole purpose behind our backyard series when we initially did it was to provide a way for teams to come out and compete, chase some points if they wanted to, have a little bit of that competitive and camaraderie, but it'd be affordable, for them to be able to do it and not have to go out and spend $2,000 a weekend, and camp out under your pop-up tent next to a toter home and that sort of thing. So,
example is that, when Joey and I, not to cut you off, when Joey and I did that pro in Kentucky, we came in his single cab truck, 2 pop-ups. Everyone had $100,000 RVs, Jambos. I mean, we're outgunned. Yeah. We don't even know what we're doing. What are we doing here? We're we're sleeping in the truck, So like to John's point in the comments,
we slept on the couches in the rec center. Like the guy was like, "Man, are you guys gonna sleep?" I mean, and it was in like coal country, Kentucky in July. The pavement was melting. That's how freaking hot it was. Right. And the guy's like, "Man, are you guys gonna sleep in that truck?" And we're like, yeah, we're just gonna figure it out, bro. And he's like, we got like a couple couches in the rec center there, so here we are, air conditioned. I'm like, oh man, this is great. And
dude, me and Tony used to roll in, dude. I mean, we still got them. We just competed on them, not down there at St. Anthony's, but with holes in the bottom of them and everything just Tetris stacked in the back of a truck, like you said, pop-ups, tables. Yep. Hanging 4 feet over the back of the truck, over the top of the smoker we're towing, So I get it, man. Respect.
Yeah.
That stuff makes you better for sure.
Right.
Well, and to comment on, not to hit the jump on him, sorry. But John, in the comments he's talking about Master Series in Minnesota is only 5 events. That's another reason. To be competitive, we like to compete. And if we want to continue to compete at that level, we know we're going to have to travel that much more. And being my partner, Joey, lives in Kentucky. He's flying up here 12, 14 times a year. If we're going to compete even more, so that's, then you throw on another, we're flying here, then we're driving to, Oklahoma. It's just, it's not cost conducive for us to compete at that level just yet.
Yeah. Right. Well, and the whole backyard deal, like that's, we've seen it down here in the few years that we've been doing this. So we've got guys like Jacob Gherkin, for example, that came in, jumped in the series, and we have watched him grow over the last few years and get better. And like, we're rooting for him. Like, even if it's an event that we're at, I mean, we obviously want to hear our name called, but when Jacob's name gets called, man, I'm excited for it. Like Cody and Shane Ridge, it's the same deal. Like, to see them come out and have some success, even if it's at the same event, like I'm not upset when these guys beat me. Like I enjoy it. And I would, I want to win, but it almost gives me the same level of satisfaction to see these guys that we've been running with year after year that we're friends with, get their name called and get to stand up there too. So, I mean, I get it from that community standpoint for sure. It's there's something to that. And when you move into that pro, I mean, I get that there's a whole different level of community there, but it seems like since COVID, man, you see a lot of that kind of coming back. So even some of those pro guys that have been doing pro for years are really kind of giving back now, reaching out, interacting with the backyard guys more and that sort of thing. And it's cool. I mean, it's something that I've been kind of watching the last year and a half or so. And I really enjoy it. Like, I think that's what it's really all about. If you get out there and you're kind of feel like you're on an island by yourself, it's not fun, and it makes you not want to come back. So,
yeah, and I know kind of locally here, like in the Louisville, Southern Indiana area, there's a lot of like OG cooks that are kind of, wrapping up, their barbecue careers, so it's, and that's why I like, kind of like I was telling Drew, that's kind of, I'd like to kind of do some master stuff here and like carry on the torch,
right.
With Hal from Charcoal and More, and Bill from Thunderhog, man, and Kent and Mark and all those dudes. It's kind of like, you kind of want to keep the spirit going, and and keep welcoming new blood in, and that's
the deal, and that's what Cody. I seen he jumped in here. I think you summons them, but that's the duty. We're going to share with you, but at some point they're going to be duty bound to keep that thing rolling. So 100%.
Yeah, and like for sure. And that's the thing with Drew and I, open book, man. Come and see us at the contest. If you see us, even if you haven't met us before, come and talk to us. We're going to share some liquor with you, probably maybe a bit. We tend to enjoy ourselves, so stop on by. We'll trade some stories. We'll get caught up. We'll get synced up. Like that. That's what it's about, man. And it's it really is fun to get to know all these people that 6 months out of the year, you're seeing them 2 and 3 times, a month, and then you get dialed into to not only the barbecue side of things, but their family and their kids. And, we had we went down to the Backyard Royal and we had an awesome birthday with Alan Larimore and his daughter, and, we brought like a unicorn pinata and all this stuff. And it's it's about people, man. It's as
Right.
much as it is about the barbecue.
Yeah.
It really is about the people that
Right.
prop it up, man.
For sure. I mean, Dave and I are prime examples of this. We didn't know each other pre-barbecue, and I'm certain that we're going to be lifelong friends at this point. And it's from this stuff, and that's also part of the reason. Like we're doing this beginners to backyard class. It's not because we think that we're experts on this by any means, but man, we've got little plug here. April 8th, if you're interested, beginners to backyard class, you can sign up with us. But that class is more than half full, and there's only 3 guys that have signed up so far that have ever competed.
Yeah.
So the people that are coming out to that are people that are interested in, competition cooking, interested in getting into this stuff, have never done it before, and feel like it's a great opportunity to kind of learn what's going on. And that's really what I'm excited about, is to kind of take some of these people that have never done this before and give them some tools so that they don't necessarily feel overwhelmed, and they get a little confidence to come out and join these events, because as we've been saying, that's what we need. We need team participation. So
yeah, I guarantee we're going to knock the edges off for them. And you guys know exactly what we mean by being there. We're talking about, those days and those trucks and the pop-ups, that was a struggle. And you struggled through not just your setup, but, trimming and getting everything set up. So we're gonna make it where their first time out isn't like just jumping in a pool of piranhas.
Yep.
So
well, and know the format too, right? Like that was I'm hitting up reps and I'm hitting up organizers and getting clarification, because they got lives too, and they work just like we do, and they may send out an email blast, and it may be, the Facebook page may say one thing, but the email they sent may say another, right? So it's important to kind of get that clarification, right? Because I'm gonna tiptoe that line, right? Especially when you get into that people choice stuff and things that are, it's like we're gonna compete, and it's like
play the game.
Yeah. And we showed up at one contest, and I think chicken was people's choice, or legs was people's choice, and a guy and we won chicken that day in the contest, but we didn't win in.
It was game. Right?
Oh no, I'm talking about Bancroft.
Okay, fair.
So there's there's a guy that came up, people's choice. He's like, man, I didn't know you could cook different. I thought you had to turn in the same stuff for people's choice and your turn-in box. And it was like, man, it's like,
need to ask.
Yeah, just got to clear it up.
Yeah.
They can't over ask, man. I mean, it seems like you're being pesky or whatever, man. Just don't ever be afraid to ask, for sure.
Right.
Hey, when we were at the Invitational, we grabbed our swag bag, and this lady was like, "Oh, you're the Furlongs guys." I'm like, "Yeah, because you mess up our points every single Monday. Like we're looking," and I'm like, and so I'm the spreadsheet guy, right? So I'm like, I text your, because I'm like, points are wrong again. And here I am, reaching out to, literally the lady's name was Karen. Not making that up. And so, we saw her down at the Invitational. She's like, "Oh, you're the Furlongs guys." And I was like, "Oh yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, we finally got your stuff right." And I'm like, "No, thank you.
Appreciate that. A
lot to ask, but yeah.
Right.
Thanks.
Right.
Every
Monday, I'm like, "Hey, Karen."
That's funny.
Favorites list. Yeah.
Spam.
What are the odds, right? What are the odds that it was a Karen?
Oh, man.
But yeah, man. So what else? Anything else? Anything exciting going on?
We did pick up 2 new sponsors. We're pretty stoked about that.
Yeah. Who you got?
Drew, what you got, bud?
Smoking Bros Seasoning out of Wisconsin. You guys are fantastic for us. We met them through our buddy Alan, and it just seems like a right partnership for us. And moving forward, we're really excited to be a part of the team. I mean, again, they're representing strong with some, Minnesota teams, Sugar Shack, Wrecking Crew, Rack Shack, Lucky Shoes. I mean, all those teams fall underneath that brand, and all heavy hitters, all really good product, and we're excited to be representing them. Brookies Fish Market. So we do seafood as well, doing a catering on the side, kind of fun things to the barbecue. A buddy of mine opened a fish shop. He was like, hey, I want to take care of you guys, whatever you need. More than happy to sponsor. So he gave us some love on that. So we're happy just to have some people in our corner seeing what we're doing, our success, and being like, hey, we know you guys are enjoying what you're doing. We want to be a part of it. How can we be a part of it? And how can we support? So for us, the relationships are, hand in hand, and it's been absolutely perfect so far.
Yeah.
What
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so the Smoking Bros rubs, man. What's your favorite one? What's your pick? Top pick out of their options, man.
Get one for you here. The K9. The K9 is a beautiful one. The K9, the sweet.
The retiree's good. It's a pecan rub. We like that. They got a garlic parm rub. They've got like 10. They get like 10 different rubs. Yeah, it's pretty solid. They've got they've got couple different. They got a Kansas City style. They got a Texas style. So we're excited to start.
What's good about this? They also give back to the correctional. They're both correctional officers, so they give back to a fund for them as well. So part of the proceeds of the bottles go back to them. So it's also hand in hand. Two brothers started after their father, and they did some catering, and they kept the legacy on after their father passed away. And it's fun to see that progressing and going on. And so we're just happy to be a part of their team, and we're excited. So we're gonna see what we can do, and hopefully make them proud, and go from there.
I'm sure you guys will do fine.
Yeah. Everybody in here, if you're watching this, jump on their Facebook website. Give them some love, order some spices, show them some support for sure.
Throw it down in the comments later. Maybe you guys throw that in there. Throw some links in there for everybody. Absolutely.
Right. Cody Ridge wants to know, what did you guys use on chicken and smoking for Garrett last year?
You mean that 180 chicken?
That chicken, yeah, that good stuff.
That was a good day. That was a good day.
Yes. So this is really funny. So there's a lot of misconceptions about Joey being chicken guy and Drew being rib guy. So sometimes we'll switch off the program to the program. Sometimes he'll cook stuff. Sometimes I'll cook stuff. So that one day, so at Garrett, Drew cooked a non-KCBS event up in Minnesota, and I cooked Garrett in Illinois, which was a KCBS contest.
Right.
And so they're on Central Time. Actually, we were on Central Time too as in Illinois. But anyways, so somebody was like, Alan. So anyway, so Drew actually first placed chicken that day. He also dropped rib turn-in on the ground.
Oh shit.
That's what happens. There's more to the story. I mean, so you see like a lot of shots and roll them in the comments, and there's a backstory to that. And if you know us and the Minnesota teams, we like to have a good time. And that day I probably had I had a good time. I'm walking in with the ribs. The trailer
tripped on the rug in the trailer.
I might have missed the step. The ribs hit the ground. So needless to say, we did not get a GC or a call that day on the ribs, but chicken was a success, and then Joey had a success in Illinois as well, obviously. So that was a great day.
Yep. So
nice.
So that was cool. So Drew first placed chicken in Minnesota, and then I first placed chicken in Illinois that same day. So that was pretty slick.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as chicken goes, we're using a now defunct chicken brine. So we're looking for
little that Oak Ridge action is what I'm
hearing. We did. Yeah, we did stock up, but we're still trying to figure out that escape plan.
Boy, that's got to be bad to watch dry up,
Yeah. Well, and then everybody started. I know Man Meat Poultry Primer is out. I know LC. I've heard good things about LC.
Yeah, the Hendrich.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna. Yeah. We've got a little bit to get us through about half the season, and then we're gonna do some reps. Yeah. But yeah, we on the chicken we use a little Blues Hog stuff. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. like I said, Oak
winning
Ridge.
stuff to win.
Yeah.
So that was
win.
what was on it.
Yeah.
That's what was on it.
That's it.
Way,
Yeah, I got lucky
too
a
much.
couple weeks after the Oak Ridge emails went out. I was in St. Louis and then Kansas City area for work, so I hit a couple spots through their St. Louis barbecue store. They had a couple 100 pounds that they had gotten in that they were busting down for me. So I was able to pick up a pretty good amount of it and bring it home, vacuum seal it up real good. So I've got some, but yeah, man, there's several new ones hitting the market for sure. I know Brad talked about one that's in the works with them. I know Bill Chicken Fried, they're working on one, man. And it's hard to argue with his success in chicken for sure. His stuff comes out beautiful. So I've been pimping him a little bit, man, in the comments, like, hey, if you want to hook a boy up, man, send me some of that stuff before it hits the market.
Right.
You know,
right. Let me get on that. Let me get on that QA. Let me get some of those test runs in. Yeah,
that's right.
I like
Bill,
that.
If you're watching, and we know that you are, hook us up, man. Hook us up. We'd love to test it out for you.
Absolutely.
For sure. So,
little beta testing.
That's right.
So can we? I know when we were chatting earlier. Can we flip the script? Can we ask you guys a couple questions?
Yeah, man, bring it on.
Yeah.
All right. So, I know, like I said, I was kind of burnt out on barbecue at the end of the year. So, what have you guys been cooking lately, non-barbecue? What have you been doing lately?
You want to hit it, Charles?
Dave's always hooking some stuff up. So I'm let's see. I guess it is barbecue. I'm getting my little girl into her first comp this year. So we've been messing with some stuff there, getting her ready. Doing a lot of that. Big seafood here. I love a tuna steak. There's no question about it. It's one of my favorite things. Salmon, that sort of thing. So we've been doing quite a bit of that. It's I'm in the northern part of the state now, so it's cold and windy through pretty much the entire winter. And to be honest with you, I don't have the Minnesota drive to get out there in 2 foot of snow and fire that thing up. So most of my stuff has been in the house. I'm not even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hard for me too. I'm always, I always say kind of infusion stuff because I still, we talk about practice. Even if I'm not going to run ribs or chicken or something, I will still maybe do a roast. I'll fire the smokers up just so I can play with temperatures. You know what I mean? These gravity feds, it's kind of hard to get them up to temperature. So I'm trying to see at different temperatures, how long does it take me to get there? So, but I'll do stuff like lasagna and roasts, stuff like that all the time, Mexican food. And, but I'm always making a bunch of smoked meat still, to go in that stuff. Yep. So hard to get away from.
I like it. Yeah. I've got a pellet smoker that's like right outside of my garage that's always plugged in. And I use that dude more than I do my oven, man. So I'm doing, I'll crank it up to 425 and do chicken breasts.
For sure.
Like you said, I did some salmon earlier tonight at like 275 on some planks.
Mm-hmm.
I totally feel you on that, man.
Well, that's why I've been, with these gravity feds, historically low and slow, but that's what I've been pushing them up there, 300, 325, and just seeing how they actually, cook at that temperature,
Yep. Sustained, right? How they can.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, it's nice, man, but really is. Opening those doors is a lot like the lids. And, it'll dip, man. It'll dip hard after you open that door. So, if it's cold, man, it's even worse. So,
right.
Yeah.
I see we just got a big thumbs down on the pellet smoker.
Oh, I give him shit about it all the time. So that's one of our buddies. He's doing that intentionally, that's all right. I do give pellet smokers a hard time. I personally, this is just my personal opinion, in competition barbecue, I think it needs to be live fire. That's just, I've been very vocal about that. I get it from a sponsor standpoint, everything, the pellet smokers and that sort of thing. I think it would be cool if they had kind of their own deal over there. But at the same time, I'm not scared to cook against any of them. I'm good with it. just not my thing personally.
Sure.
I got to ask, because I'm down with the team, so I would be doing my job if I didn't ask. But have you got to try the new charcoal pellets from Royal Oak? Have you tried
Dude,
it?
I've got a Rural King that's like 5 minutes from the crib, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they had Lumberjack for years, and I was so pumped. And it's like all day, every day, $8.88 for a $20 bag, and I felt like I was just in it. Yeah. And then they changed up. They went with a house brand, way less quality. And then that was around the time so I would do the Char Hickory, the LJ Char Hickory pellets. Yep. And that was around the time that the Royal Oak pellets came out. And dude, and this is not a plug. We're not a Royal Oak team.
Yeah.
They're waterproof.
Though we would like to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Craig, I seen Craig in the comments earlier.
That was on the 2023 roadmap, guys. I just need you to know that. But no, they're waterproof. They didn't get all mushy, if there was like a drop of anything on it, and they burned hotter. Yeah. And they were solid. So I switched from those Lumberjack Char Hickories to the Royal Oak pellets, man.
I think it was Malcolm Reed that did the video. They actually like submerged them in a cup of water, and they didn't take on any water. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like even just moisture will make all these dudes fluff up, but I was pretty pumped about that. Yeah. So
we've seen them in our Kroger. If you've got Kroger, you might check your Krogers, because I haven't seen them in our Walmart. But
they had, I think it was like it was a few months back. I don't know if they just had them on the shelf for too long at our Kroger. It was like $5 a bag, and I bought like 10 bags.
Yeah, heck yeah, man.
And like I'm sending like text to my local, so like I'll do on the Facebook group. I'm like, $1.99 brisket alert. Go scoop it up. And it was the same deal. It's like, $5 for a bag of Royal Oak pellets. Go get them.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, all right, one more question for me.
Yep.
Drew and I are big playlist guys. We have very competing musical tastes. Sometimes he'll get to do his thing. Sometimes I'll get to do my thing. When it's my time to do my cook, I put my earbuds on, because I don't know, there may be like 10 people on the planet that like what I listen to in some instances. So what's on your all's barbecue playlist? What you guys, what's publicly available, and what's in the trailer? Like when it's game time, what do you have going on when you're putting finishing powder on and slicing up ribs and stuff?
What you got, Charles?
All right, man. So my musical taste, man, I am not stuck on any particular genre. So I will be honest with you. My YouTube music playlist can jump from old school blues, Joe Bonamassa, into some Chris Stapleton, into some Nefex, into, hell, it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't some Avril Lavigne and Britney Spears sprinkled in. Like, I'm all over the place, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. But when we get down to crunch time in the trailer, that goes off. Like,
oh wow,
Focus. For me, I turn it off. Throughout the day, I'm good with it. But when I start taking stuff off, and when we're getting into the boxing time, I've usually shut that down at that point, and I'm just trying to focus on what I got going on and what the next steps are. Sarah's usually with me for that, and we go hand in hand. She knows what I need and that sort of thing. So we're really just watching the clock and making sure we're hitting all our marks and that sort of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I'm the same way, and I like to think I stay hyped so I don't have to get hyped, but playlist is the same way, man. My kid has got probably 300 songs on my playlist, and I can sing every song on it, no joke. But, man, I'm most of the time, like, if we're out at a comp, I like folk and country and old country and outlaw stuff, like Steel Drivers, drive-by truckers. You might hear the Dead. Yeah. You could hear Bob Marley coming out of my trailer. That's no joke. So,
Any crash test dummies?
Oh yeah,
Hey,
man. They were throwing
don't
back.
sleep on them. Don't sleep on them.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's probably in there, man.
I'm a
not
90s
mad at
kid.
it. Yeah, not upset at all.
Don't sleep on them.
80s, 90s kids. Yeah.
I feel like maybe there's a
Oh,
story
man.
behind that somewhere.
No, he just like
Got the
it'll
dead
just be
president right
it'll
after
be
that.
the most inopportune time, and he'll just do some cut off of YouTube from them that's just terrible. That's just like it's almost like a practical joke at some point.
I beg to differ. I mean, once there was a kid.
Oh man, yeah.
Come on, man. That's a straight banger. That's a banger.
That makes me think of that movie, The Internship. If you've never seen it, they got the hype tape at the beginning, and he's playing Alanis Morissette, the ironic, and he's like, "How's this a hype mix?" He's like, "Just tell me you ain't getting amped on this." Right.
I'm telling you.
All right. So since we're talking music, we're gonna wrap it up. But since we're talking music, 2023 walk-up music. You guys got anything picked yet?
I do. Yes, I've got it. I've got our Smoke on the Shores song picked. Drew knows what it is, but I can't say what it is. That's the best part about the walk-up music, because I love that so, because you're the only one that know that you got called until you don't start walking, or until you're not like, ah! So
ours is the same. It's Money Talks. That's for all the A9 guys out there. I just felt like that's appropriate.
I like it. I like it. But yeah, so we got it. We got one picked out. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Franklin last year, when our song come on, I didn't move because I was like,
that's somebody else.
Maybe, yeah. Was this my second? Like, I don't remember, And I sat there. Sarah looked over at me. I said, "I'm pretty sure that was my song."
I got a call at Rib Burn. I got fifth at the Rib Burn on Friday night. I went and had Mexican food. I wasn't getting a call. and Kent from Continental, he's like, "Dude, where are you?" I'm like, "Man, I'm eating Mexican food and drinking margaritas." He's like, "You just got a call." And I was like, "All right, I'm getting my check. I'll be right there."
Oh, I love it.
Check, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll wrap it up.
Well, man, we appreciate you guys being on here tonight for sure. It's been a good time, man. Good talk.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do this year. Without a doubt, it's going to be good times. So,
yeah, and we'll see you guys. Sure. We'll see you guys in a couple weeks in Nashville.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to do some live streaming down there. We got some people to interview, do some stuff. Got some cameras coming down and that sort of thing. So we're going to try to gather a bunch of content that weekend and try to hear our name, at some point
in between it all. Yeah,
never know what could happen, I guess. But
it's going to be a big time. Be a big time for sure.
Yeah. I know this. Like we say, up in Minnesota, we may not win, but we're going to win the party. So,
I like it.
There you go. So.
All right,
nice.
fellas.
Well, appreciate you guys. Yes, we will talk to you again soon. Looking forward, like I said, seeing what you guys do this year. I'm excited for you. I know it's going to be a big year, so we're excited to watch it. So, Furlongs Smoking Seafood on Facebook. Any other social media you want to plug before you guys jump off here?
Yep, at Furlongs BBQ on Facebook, at Furlongs BBQ on Instagram. Check out at Smoking Bros Rubs, I believe, on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out Alan Larimore from Wrecking Crew. Shout out Andy from Sugar Shack. Shout out Dino from Big Ten Bones. All the other major players up in Minnesota. We love you guys. Yeah, man. 2023. Let's do this.
Nice.
Love it.
All right, fellas. We appreciate you.
All right, fellas.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Charles.
See you. Yep. All right. Now we got it. It.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Good talk, man. I'm excited to see what they do this year for sure. And I'm excited to get down in Tennessee and get the ball rolling. And it's going to be a good time down there for sure. I know Mikey's coming down. James Grubb's going to be in the house. We're going to have a crew with us down there for sure. So it's going to be a good time.
Barbecue Country, you know, that show starts filming right after that. They're going to be a bunch of them guys there. So definitely going to be stars everywhere, man.
That's right. Next Monday, Josh DeWitt's going to be in the house.
Jumping on JDQ.
Man, they got a bunch of stuff going on this year, a bunch of exciting stuff. I'm pumped to talk with him, see what's going on in his world.
He's going to have stories from Houston. He was in that crew, the Bruise crew.
The photo dump. Did you see the photo dump he put on there?
I did. Yeah. Awesome. It's hard to watch. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's hard to watch, but man, I'm really happy for them guys for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So
we're living vicariously through them 100% right now.
That's it for sure. For sure. So, all right, man. Well, next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we'll do it again.
Yeah, Prairie Fresh.
Prairie Fresh. Yep, definitely. If you guys, like I said, you can still tag even after the show's over. If you're watching the replay, tag Prairie Fresh in the comments. Barbecue Grill Master Syndicate, jump in the group, post a picture, Prairie Fresh ribs, pork, cooking, store, whatever the case is. Tag them in that group, get a couple extra entries. Next Monday, we're going to announce that 4 tumblers coming directly from Prairie Fresh. Nice ones with the handles on them. I like them that way myself.
Very nice.
Excited for that. So that's it, man. We'll do it again next week, right?
Yeah, buddy. Count on it. If the creeks don't rise and the good Lord's willing, we'll be here.
That's it. All right. Well, let's roll out. Curveball Whiskey, official sponsor of the What's Your Rub podcast 2023.
Yeah.